sort it out, you know.
Get your boobs out from under your armpits.
Sort my boobs out. Good morning.
Okay, third time lucky.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. And guys, I have to be out of here for 5 to 11.
We've got 25 minutes, so let's get this show on the road.
Okay, so we were going to talk about something, but we've changed it. So we're going to talk about a topic that Tina
Cave messaged, and she said that she would love to have a conversation around clothing for plus size ladies, because, and her bugbear was, you know, when you go to try on clothes and you're looking for clothes, that they can be really tight, they can be not nicely fitted, they can be misshapen, and they're not creating clothes for specific body types. If you're super slim, you're considered a clothes horse. So anything that you put on will fit you and will look good. Hey Marie, how's it going? But when you're curvy, and we're talking like above a size 16, and you're looking for clothes, a lot of the time what they're doing with their clothes, it seems to me, is that they create tents.
Well, it seems that they're going off the same pattern that they use for the smaller size and then just put it on a larger size model, not bearing in mind where they'd have folds and where it would catch them, do you know? And we've talked about weight and stuff like that before in the past, and people carry weight in different areas of the body.
Yeah. So
somebody could be, say, a size, any size. Like it doesn't matter whether you're small.
No.
Like so you can have a muffin top and be a size 10, or have a muffin top and be size 22. It all depends on if you're wearing clothes that are too tight or they don't fit. Some people, depending on their body shape, so we know that you've got like a pear, an apple, you've got like an athlete's figure, hourglass, many different figures, right? So that just goes to show that we all carry our weight in different places depending on the structure of our body, right? And so therefore that needs to be taken into consideration when you are wearing when you're getting clothes of larger sizes, or the manufacturer needs to be aware of that, because some people could have large arms and big bust, but they could be a size maybe 12, and some could maybe be an apple shape and carry it all around their belly and have slim arms, but they've got these big baggy arms for somebody who is of that curvier size. So they don't seem to be tailored very well according to, they should actually do clothes according to body shape, like the pear, the apple, the hourglass, and actually, do you know the way, like, say, online, or not online, you know the way they say, well, it does happen online, in food now, they all give calorie counts. Yeah. So actually, I think it's a good idea, we should email the different clothing companies and ask them to put on their piece of clothing what body shape that suits, whether it's an apple, a pear, or whatever. Idea. And then, doesn't that make shopping, well, it'll get rid of my business then, doesn't that make shopping easier then for the consumer?
But you see, it won't necessarily get rid of your business, but what it would do is it would make the clothing companies and manufacturers have to take things a little bit differently. We had a conversation the other day, and you were saying that there were reasons around the broadcast. Hi. So we were saying, or you were saying to me the other day, that there's reasons that the shops don't buy in specific sizes, and it's because there isn't a great demand for them. Okay.
And because, so a lot of the shops would go up as far as maybe 16, 18 at a push. But what happens is that when you are going for the larger sizes, it means it's a new type of brand, and therefore they have to get in a brand new type of brand, and then they're not going to stock that and take, because you have to normally buy, like, say, seasons in advance, so they're not going to stock that because there isn't enough of demand in it in a smaller town. Online, however, it doesn't matter, because yes.
But imagine if all of the shops had a tailoring facility, you know, like I know our friend Lisa was mad into that measuring and getting your clothes on measured.
Lisa and Colour for Youth.
That's class. I think it's a great idea, because when you get your clothes tailored to yourself, and it's a lot less expensive than you would actually think, when you get your clothes tailored to yourself and you have specific pieces in your wardrobe that you know you can mix and match.
Well, what she does is that she measures your body, and it goes by a specific kind of grid that, judging by, say, how long your back is and how long your legs are, she tells you what your cut-off points are, and that's what you look for in the shop. And then if that isn't available on some of the items, then you can go and get them.
Which is a brilliant idea. Yeah. It's so good. But when it comes to being able to find things, like I know for myself, when I go to shops, you know, I would do most of my shopping online, because when I do go to shops, I'm like, oh, for God's sake, they don't have something that's going to make me look or feel really, really nice in the clothes that I'm buying. So I totally get what Tina was saying the last day when she messaged in, and she was like, you know, it's driving her nuts, because especially if you have a special occasion and you want to go and you want to buy a nice dress, and everybody likes to look nice, and we're not talking about whether it's a good thing or a bad thing to be any weight under the sun. That's not what we're here to discuss. It would just be nice to be able to walk into a shop and say, oh my God, I know that's going to look really good on me. I'm going to feel really good in it. I'm going to have a great day. It's going to be comfortable. It's not going to cut me in places that aren't going to be flattering. You know, people might have a tummy issue and there's not enough clothing available that, you know, gathers or does whatever it's supposed to do in that area.
Kind of well, you know, it fits you well.
Yeah, and sometimes, and I find this, sometimes you don't want to wear the sucky in knickers. You really don't. Sometimes you want to just wear your underwear that you would normally wear, a nice bra and a nice pair of underwear, and put on a dress or a pair of trousers or something that just fits your shape. Sometimes that's just what you want.
Excuse me. Yeah.
And it's just not available.
Yeah. I think so I just give myself a plug here. So
Definitely.
I have a Facebook page, and I also have an Instagram page, and it's called Thelma Gibbons Personal Shopper and Image Consultant. So if you want to check out those, feel free to do that. So Tina, I hear exactly what you're saying. I come up against these problems all the time when I'm bringing people shopping and that. I think that it can be intimidating sometimes going shopping, regardless what size you are, because I've come up against clients in the past who figure-wise they're actually okay, but they may have a skin allergy, or they may have a scar. They might have had, like, you know, breast cancer, and they've only got, like, say, one breast now. Or I know along the lines of my mother, who's had a stroke, so she's in a wheelchair, so that's difficult then to fit people who are in wheelchairs. My mother is a great person to kind of, for me to shop for, because I have to bear in mind she has a complete body shape different than what she first had prior to her stroke. I also realise that she won't be wearing bras because it's uncomfortable now, and her shoulder has dropped with her stroke, so I have to find something that will camouflage the shoulder, that will not show nipples, and that will be loose enough fitting but flatter her at the same time, and dress this new figure that she's not comfortable with, in that she's not happy being the size that she is now because she's never been that size before. Whereas I think if you have a slow progression of gaining weight in that, then you get comfortable in a certain regard of that weight that you have at that time. And an issue I have with, say, dressing my mom, for instance, is, and this goes down to, like, say, size issues again. So my mom would have been, say, a size maybe 10, and she would kill me if she could talk now and hear this online. But so she's probably gone up to, say, a size 16 and around, right? And that's because it's no offense to my mom, or anything that she could do, but she's not mobile anymore. And these things, it's an honest it happens. You don't situation, and these things happen. Yeah. So what happened with my mum? She has the skinniest legs, and she still has such skinny legs, but when I get trousers for her that are size 16, I have to get ones that you pull up, because obviously she's only got one hand that works now, so she can't, like, zip them up, and she can't do the buttons, so I have to get the pull up ones, right? And oh my God, it's like a sack on her hips, and the legs then are all out of proportion, and then I don't want her to get a dress or a skirt because she'll trip over that. And so it's very difficult to get trousers for somebody of that size off a different body shape. So it doesn't matter what size you are, it's if the shape doesn't work right in Pacific clothes, it's just not going to work. I have come across other people who, say, are a size 8 but may have a size double D boobs, and I have to try and make them not look top heavy. So there's a lot of issues around trying to get the proper clothing. And I think, personally myself, some staff members in certain shops are fairly well trained up to have an eye for what is needed when you're trying to sell clothes for a person. But a lot of people sell clothes because they like the colour, or because the person feels happy in them. But we've talked about this before. You would much rather me be reasonably honest with you. What I mean by reasonably honest is that tell you what shapes suit you, the flatter your figure, and other ones that don't.
Do you know who I love actually? And I think she's absolutely brilliant, is Geraldine Ruddy in Carrickgun. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh my God. Yeah. Right. I walk in there and I'll say, right, Geraldine, I need this for whatever. And I'll go in and I'll try it on. And you can tell by her eyes before she even opens her mouth. And she does it in the nicest way. She'll look me up and down and she'll go, and you can see it just registers on her face, and she goes, I have something now that I think would be much nicer on you. And I go, brilliant, you don't need to say anything else. And she comes in and she hands and hands and hands. And she'll say to you, now that looks really nice on the waist, but it's just not right on your hips. So how about you'll try this?
Yeah.
And it's in those moments that you're so appreciative of somebody saying, there's something better for you.
Yeah. Like, I've also been in a position where, and like, I don't want to name names or anything, but I have been in a position where I have brought a curvier girl into a shop and tried to get her fitted for an event, and the shop owner, I don't know if she did it out of nervousness or what, but she got a size that is smaller than what my client was. And I was wondering, why is she doing this? And she said, well, just get her try this on just to see for shape and everything else. And then she was, well, we know now that you're not a size 14 or whatever the case was. And my client was a bit distraught about that, you know, and she kind of felt that she was laughed at, and I don't know whether the lady meant it in that way or whether it was just nervousness or what. And I think that it's such a sensitive area, like weight and shapes, for every woman. I don't know why we're so caught up with that, and maybe because social media or whatever. So we have to be really careful about our terminology and even our body language and how we address people in the changing room and try to fit somebody.
But even the Italians do something a little bit different, and I love what they do. They always size up. And I have a couple of Italian friends who say that they would never buy the size that they actually are, because this is the wording that I got from them, because everybody knows that that's not going to look well on you. And I'm like, really? And they said, of course, what you want to have happen all the time is you want to have your clothes hang well on you, not stick to you. So everything that you buy, whether it's trousers or a dress or a top or anything, they would always go a size up to give that shape, so that it gives your body a bit of movement and a bit of ability to breathe. And as soon as they said it, I was like, oh my God, but we have such size bias. I'm actually only after thinking that word in my head. I think it's such a good thing, so I'm coining that phrase now. Size bias, meaning, so I'm a size 18, but I can't tell anyone I'm a size 18, because, oh my God, the world could end if anyone knew that I was a size 18. Like, oh my God. So imagine then if I told
people
somebody...
cut the tags off as well, so nobody will ever know.
Yeah, and imagine if I went in and I bought a size 20. Oh my goodness.
I know.
You're actually a size 20, you big huffalump. And you'd be like, seriously, it doesn't actually matter, because it fits me, it looks well, I feel comfortable. And now I can move through my day without having to be pulling and
I have to say, I went through that phase at one point. And I know I've always been skinny, but it's all relevant to each person, right? And I was going up another size, and I was like, oh man, there's no way I'm going up to that size. I'm not going up to that size. And I think, Ciara, the reason why I had resistance with that is because when I do kind of come to terms that I am that new size, that means then I can kind of start to feel that a bit more, and then go, oh man, there is no way I'm going to that next size. There's no way I'm going to that next size. So I think that's what can happen. And also a lot of people, and I would say an awful lot of new mothers or stressed out mothers, end up putting on a lot of weight, not only because they're running and they're not eating properly, but also because we end up staying in our comfortable trackies or whatever, because we're getting vomited on, puked on, dirty nappies on, everything. So it's easier to stay just rough and rugged kind of thing, if you like, than get dressed up. But in that, we don't realise how much weight we're possibly putting on. And when we go back to our clothes then, pre-baby, they have meltdowns. It's like, oh my God. And I always tell people, it doesn't matter what size you are right now. Let me bring you shopping. We'll dress for the figure and the size that you are now. Don't say, oh, but I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to lose weight. Stop putting yourself under that pressure. Your life is too busy. Not to exercise and not to not eat healthy, but just for a period of months, for you to feel really good with the body weight that you are now and the body shape that you are now. And by the way, your body shape might never come back to being pre-baby, regardless what you see on TV or anywhere else. simply because, not because you're not going to put in the effort, but when our hips go out, they not always come back to the way they were, so our body shapes can end up changing. Gaelskel, why are they ringing me now?
The joys of online everything.
Yeah. So dress yourself for the body shape that you are now, and then feel confident and sexy and good in the clothes that show off your best parts, camouflage your worst parts, and it just gives you that extra few months of their headspace and time to put your energy into something else that really matters. And when you're starting to feel good about yourself, you'll realise, you know what, I don't really need like these cakes, or I really need to structure like a time where mommy's going to eat, or whatever the case may be, or starting a new job even can be stressful.
Feeling sexy in the skin you're in is a massive one. Again, it goes back to body positivity, and you can't feel can't is the wrong word to use, but you're not going to feel sexy in the skin you're in if you're bet into your clothes. You're just not.
No.
If you're a size 10 and you're trying to fit into a size 8, you're doing yourself a massive injustice, because you're actually choosing to make yourself feel bad about yourself in that moment.
Yeah.
If you're a size 20 and you're trying to fit into a size 16, you're doing the exact same thing. It doesn't matter.
No.
The minute you embrace, and this one isn't easy, it's not easy at all to embrace your own figure, but the minute you embrace it and you say, right, look, I am what I am right now, and I'm going to buy the thing that fits me and makes me look well and makes me feel well, that's when you can start embracing that sexiness. And you know, we talk about sexiness. Of course it's nice to feel sexy. Everybody wants to feel sexy from time to time, or all the time. And when you do embrace that and
maybe
you start to enjoy
just
it,
feel confident in ourselves.
Absolutely, whatever word you want to use.
Yeah.
So,
because I know a girl who has put on weight, and she said she's never been as big in a long time, and she said her husband loves her for it, not because she's put on the weight, but she's dressing for the shape that she is.
Yeah, and the confidence is there.
And she says, and I got these bras, I got bigger boobs, and I know, like, look at the size of my belly, it's never been so big. And she was like, it's because she's dressing for her shape and she can camouflage in her clothes that she's feeling sexy. And because she's feeling sexy and she's feeling good about herself, she's got this like newfound confidence, and people are seeing it in her. And her husband's like, oh my God, like, I love this confidence you have, you know. And he's found her sexy, and he doesn't give a shit about the jiggles and the jangles, you know.
Yeah.
And so it really does boil down to, like, dress for the skin that you're in now, dress for the shape that you have now, you know.
Yeah. And enjoy. That's another hard one. Enjoy looking at your body. Like, I was away on holidays for 2 weeks, and the last couple of days that I was on holidays, I was looking at myself in the mirror going, I really love myself. Like, I actually love my shape. I know that I have extra body fat. I know that I'm a size 18. But for God's sake, it is what I am right now, and I have all of the things that I have to deal with myself and go through myself. And that'll all change. But right now, how I am and who I am and how I look, it is what it is, and I'm just going to love it and embrace it. And you know, it feels good to let go, because the thing is, we've been berating ourselves for our whole lives, right? And it hasn't worked. There's a saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if you've spent your whole life saying, I hate myself, I don't like my love handles, I can't stand my cankles, I don't like my muffin top, I don't like the back fat. I mean, women have a plethora of
I just
bad
think that
names.
is so funny, you and your cankles.
Oh, it's so funny.
So cankles
are fat ankles. Or like...
Is that not fankles?
No. Because your calf meets your ankle, so it's a cankle.
Oh.
Yeah, have you never seen people with cankles?
No comment.
Oh my God, it's crazy, because we'll just go through the list of names because I think it's hilarious. Okay. So this is what women say about themselves.
I might just tune out and just listen.
This is so good, right? People have cankles, right? You've got fat calves, you've got fat knees, right? You've got saddlebags, inner thigh fat, and fat fannies. I mean,
did you actually say that?
Of course I said it, because it's an actual thing.
I was actually worried that you were going to say something like that.
Yeah, well, there you go. Of course I'm going to say it, because it's a thing, right? And imagine, right, so this is what women say to themselves. How the hell are we supposed to have body positivity when we say this, right? Then you've got your saddlebags and your muffin top. Have you got a hip dip? Who knew that was an actual thing? You're now supposed to have hip dips, where your hips go in and then your thighs come out. You're not supposed to have those, right? You're not supposed to, right? And then you've got the back fat. You've got an apron where your tummy comes over your fat fanny. Then you've got your spare tires. You've got extra boob fat under your armpits. You've got bingo wings.
And
you've got
your
gels.
boobs are your belly button is stuck between your boobies.
Yeah, you've got like fat cheeks, gerbil cheeks. You've got triple chins. Hey, Eamon, you're gonna love this. And so we spend such a. I don't think so.
No.
Men only have to deal with a belly. They really do only have to deal with a belly, and sometimes love handles.
They get moobs.
Oh yeah,
man boobs.
But you see, we put all these names on things, right? And if you think about it for a second, imagine in your mind that this is what you're saying to yourself every day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That
you have bags under your eyes, you got dark circles, you got broken veins.
All of these things wrong with yourself. So what's right with yourself? You have to find an inch of skin in between all this crap. Can I tell you this about
what's right with yourself? I swear to God, I've looked back on pictures of me when I was younger. Okay, I went to like the chubby stages. But Jesus, there was times where I looked good. Like my hair was fabulous. My outfits were fabulous. There was a period of time, I don't come across big-headed now, right? And my figure was amazing. Like I was toned, I was this, that and the other. Jesus Christ, why didn't I know it at the time?
Hello, I was
Why
dancing.
didn't I know it at the time? Why didn't somebody say, oh my God, you look amazing. Like I want you to breathe it in, soak it up. This is the best that you're ever going to look on your whole entire life, and I could have showed that off.
Yeah.
But I am sure, probably at that time, I probably was fucking picking out little things like, oh, I don't like this, or I don't like where my ribs are showing maybe, or I don't like whatever, this, that and the other. And I remember a lad before slapped my ass, right? And he said, oh, it's like leather. And I fancied him at the time. And I thought, oh my God, like it's not good to have it. Well, I didn't realise it was toned at the time. I didn't, like, because when we were kids,
we didn't know
none
any
of that stuff was in.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing.
Yeah, and it was because I was so highly athletic, and I thought to myself, oh my God. So then, and I didn't even associate exercise with it. But then when I got like more jiggly, I realised, like, oh man, I wish I had that leather ass.
I was the same. I danced professionally for 14 years, and I had a body that you would die for. And I used to think I was fat. We'd put on our outfits, like we'd put on all of our little outfits to go out and dance.
For you, so you thought you were fat. You were thought
No. Everything was. I looked amazing. I look back on pictures now, and I'm like, oh my God. And we'd go out on stage and we would dance, and I danced the can professionally. I was wearing corsets, or I was wearing costumes, or whatever I was wearing to
dance. Do you remember those pictures you got done of you with short skirts?
I modelled, and I was half naked. Hi Anne, how's it going? I was half naked in the shots. I did modelling for Bondage and S&M, and I did modelling for German magazines, right? Oh my Lord, you'd die, right? So I was a size 8 to 10, but I was built, muscly, really, really lean, really toned. And I'd be out on stage, and I swear to God, there'd be a group of us. There was like 15 of us in this troupe, and we'd all come backstage. And if you heard the conversations, oh my God, is my ass jiggling in this, right? We had hot pants on. Of course your arse is going to jiggle in it, but our arses were like 2 eggs in a handkerchief. Perfection, right? Was nothing on it. And I look back on those pictures now, and I'm looking at them going, a bit like you. Why didn't I love that phase more? Why didn't I embrace it?
Yeah.
We were savage.
Like, why didn't you run to see naked? Why didn't you just walk uptown naked?
If I looked like, someone said that to me, they were like, what if you looked like you did then now, Ciara? And I went, I wouldn't wear clothes any day of the week. I'd be outside drying myself after a shower.
Monday, Tuesday,
I'd be naked in the swimming pool. I would just
seriously, I
embrace
think that nobody would work then, because they'd all be like, you. No, I better not go down that road.
Hey,
no.
Daisy, why?
Because women can kind of camouflage things if they're walking around naked, whereas if men are seeing all these women walking around naked, then they can't hide things so well.
And you are just, and you say,
you asked me to say to carry on. Anyways, we've totally got off the point, and I've got 5 minutes to get to school to pick up my child. We want to talk about back to plus sizes.
What I wanted to ask you is, what shops would you advise? Look at our big segue from nakedness to shops. Anyway, what shops would you advise people to go to that you have gone around? Like,
from
who
16
do you
plus.
think? Yeah, who do you think is fantastic and have good service and have people who really have an eye and know what they're doing? Daisy, did I say hello? I can't remember if I just did a minute ago.
I definitely have to say oh no, actually I can't say certain things because I'm in the business I'm in, and I'm not going to insult any shop. But In regards to size 16 pluses, I know that the likes of Carthon do that, and I think a lot of shops in Westport are very nice to deal with, and I don't know so many of them in Castlebar because I try to bring a lot of business to Westport because I'm a Westport person myself, but I'm quite happy to go anywhere in Mayo and use their services. I do find that I have to go to Shaw's in Castlebar because they tailor to all different sizes, you know, but Kaleidoscope in Westport, they do larger sizes, but they're a bit more kind of the layered look, you know, so you'd have baggier clothes, so it's not like fitted.
I have to say though, even Evans, and I went over to Evans for an event a couple of years ago, and I find that, what are they making? Are you just cutting out a big square of material in the hope that it's going to cover a larger lady? Like, there's nothing in there in that shop, and I can say that because I don't have any affiliation with them. I walked in and I went, tent, trousers of a tent, tent, and you literally have to just make do. And I don't think that that's okay. I think we're at the stage where it's 2019 where everybody should be just accepted for the way they are, and shops need to just come on board and realise that if you don't want everybody to be shopping online, then get your finger out and start sorting it out in the shops, right? We're not, and I'm not for 1 second promoting unhealth, any level of unhealth. That's not what we're talking about today. I'm saying acceptance is really, really important. And imagine if there was more acceptance around people's sizes, those people who have issues with their own sizes would eventually come on board to wanting to be more healthy for themselves because they wouldn't feel so judged. And it all comes back to self and choice and all that kind of stuff. But you start where you start. The shops need to come on board.
I don't think it's just the shop's issue, and this could go on and go on. I have to be mindful of time. You see, it's down to the manufacturers as
100%,
well, right? Because a lot of the manufacturers, what they're doing is they're stopping at size 16, 18, and they're kind of small fitting ones, right? So I think what needs to be done is that they need to figure out what age group these clothes serve. So are they for teens, or are they for say 30s, or are they for 40s, and are they for 50s, right? And then I think they need to do market research to find out what is the average weight bracket in Ireland or in Europe for those different sizes, because I know Europe is vast and some of the other countries aren't the same size as they are in Ireland or England. I think they need to figure that out. So therefore you're going into a shop with a wider spectrum. So you're maybe having, like, there's a new clothing brand in Shaw's called Nice, I think it's Naoise, and so the likes of them, they've just come in now. So who are they catering for? They're the younger people. What are their sizes? I know the quiz clothing in Shaw's and Castlebar are really good, but they only cater as far as 16, and they do have gorgeous fitting clothes for the curvier size in store, but you can get larger sizes online. I want to tell you something. Breaking news is happening. So Caroline Canny in Carthon in Westport, she's the manager there. She is working tirelessly to bring in a curvier range. I think it could be happening. I need you to watch the space. Before Christmas, something huge is going to happen in Carthon. Something is going to blow you out of the water, and Caroline's working really, really hard at that. So hopefully I'll be helping Caroline along the lines to get this up and running and organise some bits and pieces in relation to that. So I want you to stay tuned to my Thelma Gibbons Image Consultancy page on Facebook and on Instagram. It's really going to suit everybody. It's just before Christmas. It's going to be amazing. And guys, I could talk all day about clothes and where to go. They're like, look at, we have Peggy's in the Mall, we've got Colette's Boutique, we have got that one out the Quay, Liberties, that just escaped my mind there. You know, with Style House, you know, the White House, you've got any amount of shops. I could go on in Westport, they're unreal. But we might go into like a larger segment on this later on and have a chat about it, about sizes and clothes and what they have in the different shops. So it'll be good for the shops and be good for you guys too. But our main thing to go on here today was to talk about plus sizes and curvier sizes, and that's where we're at in Westport.
And loving the skin you're in.
Love the skin you're in.
Love yourself.
Contact me if you want me to bring you shopping to get the clothes that fit your figure, what you are today.
Do, because she's great.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And also, if you want to subscribe, we're also on YouTube under Ciara Heenahan and Thelma Gibbons, and I got your own page, Ciara Heenahan
Ciara Heenahan Coaching is my page.
Yeah, perfect, guys. Love you, and we will see you on Tuesday with another topic.
Mwah. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.